Hey, this is Jordan Hill with Dirt to Sky Business Podcast, and I would like to thank SMI Real Estate and KCreative for sponsoring this episode. I am here today with Kara Alicia. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Of course. So you, of course, are the founder and CEO of KCreative.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just excited to talk to you and learn a little bit more about you and your business and all of the things you juggle.
All the things, yes. There's so many, and everybody's like, I can't keep up with you. How do you do it? And sometimes I don't even know. I don't have that
You're
answer.
like, I don't either.
But I just do it, and I have a blast doing it.
Well, I feel the same way. I feel like I see you everywhere, in person and online, but that's one of the best parts about you is you're so active in the community and in others' lives and your business and your kids.
And honestly, that's the best compliment I can get, especially as a marketer.
Yes.
You know, when somebody says, oh my goodness, I see you everywhere, I'm like, thank you. I am doing my job right. In fact, a few years ago, actually, somebody took offense by how often they saw me. And boy, Kara, you're sure everywhere. And, you know, their tone of voice and just their body language, because they told me that in person. And I said, thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I should be doing as a marketer and business owner.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate your comment, and I'm going to show more of me now that you've said that.
I love it. Sometimes those comments, they remind us like I'm standing out, and and that is what makes your business stand out. And when companies hire you, that's exactly what they want. They want their brand in front of everybody all of the time.
Yep. Our goal, we primarily specialize in organic social media, so not paid. And, the algorithm, the infamous algorithm is always changing, but our goal is to get you seen. And it is up to our clients' sales team and their product to, fill that funnel and make the sell. But yes, our entire goal is to just get our businesses seen. And the only way to do that is if you are active and consistent with your marketing efforts and showing up.
Yep, exactly. Well, first, I would just love to hear a little bit more about you and your background. And I know you are a mom as well. So just a little bit about you and your background.
Thank you. Yeah. I am a mom first and always foremost. I have 2 kiddos, one that's a high schooler and one that is just finishing up her elementary school time. They keep me busy. I co-parent, so I have the opportunity to have them every other week, and I really try to spend as much time with them when I do have them. And my daughter is extremely active with sports and choir and band, and my son had the opportunity at her age to experience all those activities, and now he is just focusing on his at-home passions. And then I love volunteering. That is a big part of who I am, and one of the organizations that I volunteer the most with is Breakthrough T1D, which is formerly JDRF. It's a nonprofit for those living with type 1 diabetes, like my son. So my son is almost 16 now, and he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 5. And immediately, some people, and it doesn't matter. I volunteer to be an advocate for those who don't have a voice, because there are families who just feel so lost about how to care for their loved one, or just feel all alone. And the person that I am, I'm like, where do I get involved and how? As soon as Brody was diagnosed, and just started volunteering with localized events, and then eventually 2 years ago became a board member for our Oregon and Southwest Washington community chapter. Wow, and then last year I was elected as board president, and that it's a 2-year term. So I'm just finishing up my 1 year, end of June. And then I will start my 2nd year as Breakthrough T1D Oregon chapter board president. And I've learned so much, but I've also feel like I've been part of change, and through advocacy at the state level as far as insulin affordability, and just attending events and letting people know that they're not alone and there are resources for them and their loved ones.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you for doing that, because so many, including myself, when we do feel overwhelmed by an issue or something that's so important, and we might feel like, what will my involvement do? It's just not even going to scratch the surface. But that is the wrong mindset to have, because we all need to do our part.
Yeah.
You know?
And even if you doing your part is just caring for your loved one that has, you know, well, in my case, that has type 1 diabetes. Some parents are just completely overwhelmed, or guardians, or some loved ones, you know, have to focus on work and caring for their children. And if I have the opportunity, and I feel so blessed to have a more flexible schedule where I can get out and be involved a little bit more. And I have a larger platform and a larger community than a lot of people. And so why not use that large community that I have and advocate for those like my son?
Wow. Now, how has volunteering just on this large scale, and I know it hasn't just been Breakthrough T1D, I've seen you involved in other nonprofits and other causes. How has that enhanced your business?
Right? You know, it's so funny. I was my therapist about a month ago was like, why do you do what you do?
Yeah.
And ultimately, it comes down for all of us because it feels good. It feels good to be a good person.
Yeah.
And the reason why I volunteer is to help others, because it does feel good. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I honestly tell people, even if you don't feel like you have time, sometimes it's just, maybe it's once every other week or once a month, volunteering for 1 hour in your kiddo's classroom. Or you don't even have to have kids. Just go and read to them in elementary school. To volunteer, it doesn't take a lot of time. You just need to make time and be intentional. But how has it enhanced my work life? Visibility, obviously. I can show, and it's more of that vulnerable side.
Yeah.
I can show that I'm human and that I have passions that I care about, and also that I'm able to juggle or manage my personal and professional life. It's that give and take. And that, you know, when somebody works with me, they're going to work with a company that truly cares about their community. And people can take that however they want in their own organizations. But I know it's part of my values personally, and it is part of my business's values, is just being an active part of your community, however that may look like. It doesn't mean that you need to be a board member of a nonprofit, but you could, whether that's, you know, caring for animals at a humane society, going and giving the animals love, or knitting blankets for babies in the hospital. It's a little something that you can share with the world on a cause that you're most passionate about. And I hate to say, it's not showboating, right, when you post about these nonprofits on your social media or marketing platform, but it's more of sharing with the world that there are organizations and there's causes out there that somebody might relate with or align with. And and it's okay to be visible and still humble at the same time.
Yes. Well, and it inspires others. And just listening to this, I'm sure that there will be listeners that are inspired and kind of have been maybe pushing it off, or there's just been something nagging at them, and it's time. You know?
And you know, like I said, I do have a really flexible schedule, more so than others, and I'm very grateful for that. But I think the biggest thing we can all say that a lot of people complain about is the public school system. Like there's a lot of people that complain, but have you ever gone into a classroom and volunteered?
That's right.
I don't do a lot of in-classroom volunteering, but I do come and speak about my industry and my career to a lot of high school students. I've even done it with middle school students as they're kind of learning about industries and the job sector. I think I go in classrooms 3 to 4 times a year, and I'm not teaching the kids per se, or I'm not sitting down and reading a book with them. I am educating them on career opportunities, but there is a way to make a difference in your community. So instead of complain about something,
right,
actually take action. And that's, I think, one of my biggest pet peeves is I don't want to see you complain on social media about something if you're not going to actively take action. So
that's right.
Testifying in front of city council. If you have a complaint, go and testify. It's open to the public. Or state, legislature. Go and testify.
Yeah.
It's open to the public. Make your voice heard. Don't just be a keyboard warrior.
That's right. That's great advice.
Just take action. It's the same with nonprofit. Like, somebody can attend an event, maybe like a dinner banquet, and you're like, oh, I wish it really would have gone this way, especially if it's like a nonprofit organization. And I just say, well, great. I'm sure they love that feedback, but what they would love even more is your volunteer time. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That is a great,
So if you, is it Gandhi, right? If you want to see change in the world, be the change. I'm paraphrasing that, but
right.
Be the change.
That's right. Thank you for sharing that. That is definitely very inspiring and encouraging and convicting. But so KCreative, when did you found KCreative?
Yep. So for those who don't know, I was in the hospitality industry, primarily working in hotels. In the last few years, working in partnership with a hotel and event venue. As their director of sales and marketing, 16 years. That was my entire life. Wow. I even thought and I did do it. In high school, I studied hospitality through Chemeketa Community College, my junior and senior year of high school. And this was my whole life. This was my career. I truly believe hospitality comes from within. It is not something that you can learn, but it is instilled within you. You can almost tell a fake smile from a mile away when you're in a hotel. Or maybe that employee just had a bad day, but hospitality comes from within, and that's in my DNA. And then 2020 happened, and I lost my entire career. So I took what I knew best, which was marketing plan development, marketing strategy, not just social media,
right?
And started KCreative. It was then KCreative in August of 2020, after I was just let go of my job here in Salem, and started developing marketing plans for businesses of all industries.
Wow.
And then quickly learned those were one-off projects, and that wasn't sustainable. And I needed to find a service that I could provide clients that would provide me with a monthly income so I could help pay bills, as I was the breadwinner at the time. And now I'm the solo breadwinner, in a single parent, co-parent household. And so quickly learned that social media management, you could put clients on 6 and 12-month contracts and then have a monthly retainer. And that is how I started gaining my stable monthly income. I mean, definitely charged too little at the very beginning, but you have to start somewhere.
Right.
And then especially in 2020, 2021, even 2022, businesses knew that they needed to have a digital presence and they needed to post more than once a month on their social media accounts. I'm still finding clients to this day that only post once a year even. And we're like, oh, honey, let me help you. And so our social media service became like our gold service. It became what sustained what's now KCreative. We still do marketing consulting. We still do marketing plan development and strategy and workshops, but our bread and butter is organic social media management. And that's kind of how KCreative formed 4.5 years ago to where it is today.
Oh my gosh. Are you self-taught? Because you are just killer at it.
I know. I don't have a college degree, a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot of marketing, of course, throughout my hospitality career. And YouTube videos, right? We're constantly educating ourselves. Books. I used to read a lot of books back in the day. Now I feel like I don't have time, but I made time and I was intentional with my 2025 goals. And I was proud of myself. I already finished one book and Q1's not even over with. I think I put a goal of finishing one book a year. And then I decided to be really audacious with my goal. And I'm actually studying for my CHSL, which is a certified hospitality sales leader. It also covers marketing and revenue generator for the hotel industry. It's a very distinguished certification for those in hospitality. So I decided to study for that, and hopefully in a few months I'll take the exam so I can be certified.
Wow.
That was not on my 2025 goal, but I was proud of myself for completing a book already. Yeah. Anyways, so constantly learning, because I know I don't have a degree, and a lot of people really look at others who have, at least an associate's, and I don't have that, and bachelor's degree for marketing. So self-taught and continue to learn, especially nowadays. Social media is ever changing. Marketing is ever changing. Just kind of following the consumer behaviors and seeing what their needs are.
Right. Yeah, it truly is ever changing.
It's
I'm also
every day
self-taught with no degree too. So I know how much hard work it takes, and it's real life in real world on the job experience. That is so valuable, especially social media. I mean, it's changing all the time.
And my team members, they're all younger than me, but it doesn't matter what age you are, but I just feel like they have a little bit better pulse on social media and what goes on. And then I'm teaching them more on the business acumen side of strategy, which great. So they're teaching me, hey, this is a trending audio, or this kind of edit on a video is what's trending. I'm like, awesome. Okay. And here's the strategy and the educational component to go with it. So I think we have a really dynamic mix on my team, but oh my goodness. Yeah. And then even just, Instagram, like they will announce a new feature, and then today they're like, well, that feature didn't work out, so we're not doing that anymore. And it's just, but it's our responsibility to keep up with that, so our clients don't have to worry about it.
Right. Yeah. It is overwhelming to most.
Yeah.
And so now, as far as, and we were talking about how visible you are, and of course that is what your company is hired to do, one of the things. But for the small business owners that are listening to this and they are realizing maybe I'm that company that doesn't post enough. What is a good starting place, and maybe kind of some common objections that business owners have?
Yeah, I know. I think I just posted a video about this. I have to think of what exactly I said, but it was like, you're an amazing leader, but honey, you don't want to be the industry's best kept secret. You want to be out there. You want people to know who you are and that you're an authoritative figure on whatever subject matter your industry is.
Yes.
You as a business owner or a leader, a marketer in your business. So if you're not a business owner and listening, but you're a leader in the business and you are out in your community, personal branding is biggest it has ever been. And I think that has a lot to do with social media. And the CEO of Instagram announced it, I think a couple months ago by now, but meaning Instagram, but even on all the other social media platforms, they're pushing creators. They're pushing individuals versus a business. So maybe they're showcasing athletes. So maybe Nike is showcasing athletes more.
Okay.
As an individual for personal branding versus the business. Because we're humans and we connect with other humans. Are you going to connect with a picture of just a shoe? Or are you going to connect with a video of an athlete wearing that shoe?
Oh yeah, that's
doing whatever activity. Right? Exactly. And so now it's getting everybody out of their comfort zone, because now more than ever, in order to be relevant and to have visibility on social media, on Instagram, you have to show your face.
Yeah.
And this is scaring people.
Right.
And it is okay if it's not your thing, but you need to find something that is. So if maybe showing up on social media isn't your thing, then you still got to find something to market yourself as an industry leader with either a business owner or a leader in your industry. So maybe it's sending out email newsletters, but you're still showing your face. Maybe it's you're attending more in-person events rather than showing yourself on social media. But let me tell you, it's much cheaper to show yourself on social media than it is paying for time and travel and registration fees to attend industry events.
That's right.
You want to do it all, but you also want to have that fine balance too.
Exactly.
And what works best for you. But if you don't have quote unquote brand ambassadors for your business, that it's promoting your business on social media as an individual rather than the whole business brand, then you're doing digital marketing wrong in today's time. It could change tomorrow, but right now it's individual focused.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What advice do you have for businesses that are nervous to post too frequently? Is that something, a common objection that I hear in my industry is I don't want to bother people. I don't want to just flood their feed. Is that something that is universal?
I say you're never posting too much. The way things work, the algorithms, it doesn't always show your content to somebody. And the tried and true marketing statement or statistic is somebody needs to see your product or your content or you 7 times until they finally make a buying decision, a purchasing decision. And with a billion people on social media, you're getting lost if you're not maintaining a consistent posting habit. And the only way that you are going to get yourself or your brand stuck in somebody's head is if you're constantly posting and showing yourself consistently. Like in our social media management services and packages, we do have a maintenance basic package where it's just 3 posts a week. But really 4 and 5 posts a week or more is going to get you that visibility your business truly needs to maintain that visibility. And then if you stop posting for a month or 2, the algorithms literally are going to notice that, and they're not going to show your content as much because there's a million other people that are posting consistently that it's going to decide to show their content to.
That makes sense. So consistency is so key.
Consistency is key, and content is queen.
That's right. When businesses hire you, are they asking questions on simply their Google and search engine visibility? What do you tell them as far as the value in social media?
Absolutely. So, like I said, we primarily specialize in social media management.
Right.
I do work with an amazing local contractor who does SEO for some of our clients. But I always preach to our clients, even if we are just doing social media management for the client and their content creation, that they still have a strong digital marketing presence that's not social media.
Okay.
So keywords are important, absolutely, in the copy, like the caption writing that my team does for the clients, but it is only helpful. So our goal is to get our clients visible on social media. They need to make sure that they have a great website where people can find more about them and product and services. They need to have, if they are brick and mortar, a great Google presence to, if our client if people who are viewing our clients' content decide to do a little more research on their own, if they see, the client's business come across their feed. They need to make sure that they're doing email marketing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I just did a post this morning about it, hello, unpopular opinion, Instagram shouldn't be your marketing plan. You need to be everywhere. And it's not just like physically everywhere, being part of your community and not just everywhere on social media, but you need to be email marketing. You need to have a Google presence. You need to have a website, even if it's just a one-page, a splash page about your business.
Right.
When somebody Googles and maybe like pizza shop near me or they know the exact name of the business. Yes, your Google and your website should show up, but your Instagram profile showing up, your Facebook profile showing up. If somebody is Googling Jordan Hill, your LinkedIn is coming up on the first page because those already have really strong SEO built into it. Also Pinterest. I don't think we have any clients that have Pinterest that we manage their Pinterest accounts. But Pinterest accounts pop up when you Google things on the first page. So depending, if you are an interior decorator where people are literally going to Instagram for inspo, you want to have an Instagram account. And our system, our social media management system can post on Instagram just like any other platform.
Yes.
So if we have a client that's in that industry, we would absolutely be posting on Pinterest.
Yep.
But you can do videos on Pinterest, short form videos. You can do educational posts, just inspirational pictures that might link back to your blog post. If you're searching recipes, Pinterest shows up on Google and you're clicking and you see a really pretty picture of the recipe and then you click on it, it goes to somebody's blog on their website.
Right. Yes.
So now you're like, now I need to have a blog. And every business, honestly, should have a blog. It all, social media marketing is just one leg on a 3-legged stool. If you pull one leg out, guess what happens? You fall.
Yeah.
Most of these platforms are either cheap or free. So why are you not using them? Right. Yeah. And if you don't have time, that's where my company comes in.
That's
and
right.
we literally take that time away from you so you can focus on what your business does best. You didn't start your business to become a marketer unless it's a marketing agency.
Right.
You started your business because you're passionate about the product or service that you're providing. So delegate, whether that's hiring a W-2 marketer or whether that's hiring us as a 1099 contractor.
That's so good. And that's exactly the message today that we want to share with the listeners, because small businesses have a very high failure rate, as you know, and everybody listening, where so many might feel like the underdog because we're against maybe a big shiny version of whatever we do, but it is absolutely possible. And so listening to what you're saying is going to be so important. It can make or it will make or break. The social media is 2025 will make or break
every market's saturated. I mean, Jordan, you're a real estate agent, but you're doing it right because you're getting your face out there. I don't know a lot of real estate agents who have podcasts. I don't know a lot of real estate agents who have podcasts that aren't even about real estate.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Right? Because you're showing that you're a community builder, you're an industry leader, and that you care and that you're passionate about lifting and building others. That's how you can differentiate yourself.
Right.
So you might think, oh my gosh, there's so many social media agencies like Kara. True, there are. Like, there's, I can name off a handful that's right here in this city.
Right.
But what sets you apart?
Yeah.
And that's what you need to find. And then that's how you need to market yourself.
That's amazing. And I really love because of course you do top-notch job, but you show everybody that you do through social media and being everywhere, and that's
we show everything. The ins, the outs, the behind the scenes, the professional product, the me talking to myself, you know. We show it all because we're humans, and
and you really do show that human element, which is what allows us to connect with you. Just like that creator idea that you were talking about, like Kara is a human, and she's a female business owner, and she is a mom, and she is a killer businesswoman, and I want to hire her. Before we wrap up, I would just love to go back just what we talked about a little bit ago when you were talking about having a different generation working for you, which is so cool because there should never be a time where someone's discounting someone else's ability because of their age, no matter what way, you know.
I think every generation complements each other. And when us millennials were entering the workforce, there was a huge eye roll, right, from the boomers. Millennials, and maybe the Gen Ys technically millennials are Z, I think, right? Maybe we're right above, I think, Gen Z. Okay.
Gen X.
Gen X. Thank you. Lots of eye rolls. I remember when I was hired at my last job before I started my business prior to the pandemic. One thing I really appreciated about the president of the company that hired me, who wasn't even I didn't report directly to him, but he had me in his office on probably the first week or two that I was working for them. And he had all these magazines and papers out. And he's like, I am researching on how to work with millennials. Because I think I was the youngest kind of director role with this company. And he was intentional about learning about a millennial. which was a huge compliment because it wasn't an eye roll. It was a, how can we work together?
Yes.
Like, how can you support me? How can I support you, et cetera?
Yes.
So now as a business owner that has different generations working with me, it is a compliment. My team sends me all these like inspirational reels and things that they want to try and trending audio that they've all heard of that I haven't heard of. And I feel like I'm in Instagram all the time, but the Instagram algorithm definitely knows me. And so it shows me different content that it's showing them, the younger gen.
Yes.
And I love that. And then, so then I come in with maybe the business acumen and the strategy and say, how can we take this trending audio and trending dance moves or whatever it is, cut or edit of this video with my business acumen and strategy, and how can I teach them how we can make this on trend or this video popular for our clients, and we feed off of each other, and we have this like group chat in Instagram so we can share all these inspirational reels to hopefully try with our clients too.
That is so neat. They can see things that you can't see.
Yes.
And you, of course, see things and have the experience.
Sometimes I feel old when that happens. But you know what? It's a blessing having different generations working together for the greater good, right?
Right. And it speaks to you for having the outlook that the gentleman that you talked about, what can I learn from you? It kind of puts our, pride aside and like, I can learn from you even if you're a decade younger than from me.
Absolutely.
And that's how you stay relevant. And, so that is so awesome and inspiring. So
thank you. Well, they inspire me too. And then, like I said, sometimes I feel way too old, but they inspire me.
I love it. Then you know what? They keep us young. Right?
They do. Yeah. Them and my kids. Yes.
We're very with the times.
Yeah. Or I might be too cringe for my kids. I don't know, but slay.
So sick. I feel that.
I know.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This was so much fun.
Thank you.
I know that everybody's going to be seeing what you're up to. It's one of my favorite things here.
What's
You're
Kara
everywhere,
up to next?
and I love it.
Where is she next?
Yeah, all of the places.
All the places.
All right. Well, until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you to KCreative and SMI Real Estate.